The information discussed on Talkin Money with Jeff Tarbell is believed to be from reliable sources. However, no responsibility is assumed for inaccuracies. No statement made on this broadcast should be construed as a specific recommendation of a particular investment product. Views expressed are those of the speakers and do not necessarily represent those of CBS Radio. Use only as directed.
Smiles, everyone. Smiles. And prepare yourself for...
Show me the money!
Ladies and gentlemen, the radio broadcast experience designed to keep your wallet in top condition. It's Talkin Money with Jeff Tarbell.
Talkin Money. Talkin Money.
More money, more money, more money.
And now entering the studio, your guru for fiscal fitness, Jeff Tarbell.
Right. How you doing? Holy cow, that's loud. Whoever was here before me was either deaf or deaf. There we go. Hold on. Now it's on my left ear only. Here we go. How are you doing?
Great. How about yourself?
Hey, welcome back there, Slacker.
Wild. Yeah, some of us got to take care of family and life and, all that good stuff.
Sleep in. What'd you do? I think I left my pen. I lost my
pen.
I
slept in the last 2 weeks.
Just couldn't make it on time, Richard.
Kind of like you this morning.
That's right. No, I wasn't sleeping and I wasn't sleeping. So how are you? Lots of this. Is this our last 2-hour Saturday, or we got one more? Do you know?
That's a great question.
Don't ask.
I'll be here next week.
Don't ask.
You're the one that pays for it. So.
I don't know. I don't know whether it's whenever the football starts back up again. I'm not really sure what's going on there.
It starts today, doesn't it?
Does it? Real football? No, we're still in the preseason. Come on. I didn't sleep a lot last night. This whole home remodel thing is catching up with me. I'll tell you right now. Let me give out our phone numbers, 441140 if you want to text us, because that always seems to be the way people want to poke at us a little bit. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. John Farderaro back in the studio. Mark Drobny has come back in. I think his car broke down in the front or something. How you doing?
Okay, how about you?
Oh, we got to turn Mark's in. We got the right way. He's 3. I got 3 on. Oh, you got a little switch there next to you, Mark. You got to flip up there. Now try it.
Oh, the one that says on?
The on switch. Why don't we back up and start over again?
We're cooking with gas this morning, baby.
Oh, and Chris Verlaud back in the big studio. Chris, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, Jeff.
How's the world of Coca-Cola sales going? Are you the top Coke salesman yet?
Not yet.
Not yet?
We decided to separate ways.
Oh, you did, huh? Coca-Cola just couldn't see the way to manage you. Is that right?
It was a mutual understanding.
Okay, so are you back here?
Every Saturday, I would go 30 seconds off on something, and they're like, "What the hell are you doing? Go put Coke out there."
You'd go into your wax on, wax off speech, and then that was it. Huh? Put the Coke sales are out. So are you gainfully employed again back here, or are you living the high life?
I am back here.
You are back here. Okay,
nice.
So every Saturday again.
Yes.
Just when we thought we shook him, and now we're back there. So now that we're back, and now that you're back, do you want to do the 30 seconds from the Mind of Crystal? Are you prepared and ready?
I am prepared.
Okay, awesome. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, the big story is Lance Armstrong. He's banned for life from cycling. And that.
Me too, by the way. They banned me. They go, just get your ass off the bike. You're no good. Go on. I digress.
What's bad is you're just like in your neighborhood. You weren't even.
and it's a 3-wheeler, one of those 3-wheelers. Get off the bike.
So I've never seen a situation like this where both parties look bad. First, the USADA looks bad because he's passed hundreds and hundreds of drug testing. He never like failed one, and then they're listening to a guy who did fail a drug test saying like, okay, well, let's just take his word for it. And then Lance Armstrong, he's fought the entire time, and now he's just like, you know what, I'm done, I'm sick of it. I would be sick of it too, but come on, you got to push for it. You got to say, you know what, you're not taking me down no matter what. And it kind of seemed like that's what happened.
So my guess is, and you guys can jump in, my guess is they had a smoking gun in their back pocket. He knew it. They knew it. And he just said, forget it. I mean, what's the difference now? He's already got all his money. He's made all his millions.
He's not cycling anymore.
He's not riding anymore.
Well, he's trying to compete competitively in the triathlon series, which is sponsored by the same folks. And that's so he's going to do some high-end stuff, but that limits him there.
Well, he can ride my neighborhood with me if he wants.
Yeah, he'll be right, I'm sure.
What's kind of bad is he's been the face of cycling. No one else would care about the Tour de France if it wasn't for Lance Armstrong.
It's true.
So, I mean, if I was ahead of this thing, I might say, like, even if we have something, you know what? We're just going to keep this in our front pocket.
And I thought in the paper today, and I was just reading it quickly because I was sleep deprived, but I thought it said that he was replenishing his blood while he was writing.
Yeah, they do that. Blood transfusion. They're pulling it and putting it back in at different
while you're
levels.
writing. So like a little nurse following along with the little cart, the little gurney thing, and she's what? First of all, where are they putting this blood that's transfusing? They're not wearing anything. You're not wearing like a big old jacket you can hide underneath. So I don't know how they right in the arm there. Okay.
And in the leg. Yeah.
All right. So I don't.
That's a whole nother world.
You used to live that world.
A little bit.
Yeah. So were you transfusing your blood there too?
No, sir.
That's why he's not professional.
That's why I'm in the studio right here with you,
That's
Jeff.
why you're here on a Saturday. All right. So if those of you who don't know, Johnny was a big time bike racer there for a while.
I did some cycling in my day.
Yeah, me too.
So do you know of anybody who was doping?
Sure he does. They were all doing it.
Absolutely not.
They were all doing it. See, quiet time.
Yeah. Well, actually, there's a couple new books coming out right now with most of the team that Lance rode with back in the day. All have books out. All have been in in front of a federal judge, and they just keep pushing. So
yeah, enough's enough.
Yeah.
Forget it. Speaking of judgments, and could you see the? So imagine if you just won the lottery, like $100 million, and then you bought a second ticket and you just won like another $1 million. That's kind of how I look at the verdict. They're already the wealthiest company in the world in history, better than Microsoft ever was, and now they picked up another. Well, they were awarded $1 billion in damages, and then according to another article this morning, they can get up to 3 times that, right, Mark? So
it gets tripled because of fraud or willfulness.
So you got to believe that Samsung will
appeal. They've already appealed.
Yeah, for $3 billion, you could appeal for a long time. I wish I was the appeal attorney.
They're not likely to win on appeal.
But how long can you just keep dragging?
Well, the appellate court's going to pick that one up pretty quick, so they'll be briefing that, and they'll be in court within a year.
So I don't know Samsung's net worth, but I'm sure $4 billion or $3 billion will hurt. I don't think it will put them out of business, but it will not.
But what the damages is a small part of that case. It's the market share that's the bigger part of the case.
So are they going to have to quit making that product?
The court ordered an injunction that they cannot sell the Galaxy devices in the United States. So they've got to take those things off the shelf like right now.
Wow. And it's been a fascinating, and it's funny because there hasn't been a tremendous amount of news about it. You just kind of hear, okay, Apple, Samsung. But if you really look in, the Wall Street Journal's done a good job of kind of digging down to all the little different patents. And it's funny, you take a look at a phone like this and you click on the button and you slide the unlock to the right. That's a patent. You do this and you pull down and have the thing refresh. That's another patent. Just all the little functions and features of these phones and how they work, all individually are individual patents, and to try to get your competitor phone to look and act like this. And when you look at the side-by-side comparison of the Samsung, and it's a little bigger but the same icons. And what were you saying about the there was a memo from Google who?
And I don't understand why we have all these crummy criminal trials in the South that seem to get shown from beginning to end on TV, but this is one of the most significant trials in recent history here, and there's nothing on the news about it, except unless we read the Wall Street Journal. And I mean, you'd think there would have been somebody reporting from the trial every day.
Yeah.
But this is a huge potential case, and what it's going to impact is market share.
But you said there was even a memo from Google to Samsung.
Google basically said to Samsung, make it look different than the Apple device. It looks too similar.
Yeah.
Mix it up, mess it up a little bit, change it up. And they didn't. And if you look at the opening screens, it was in the paper today, you couldn't tell which one's the Apple device.
No, I know. One's just a little bit bigger than the other.
The question is, though, is that a generic concept, or is it something that's an idea that can be patented?
Well,
and obviously the court said it's an idea that can be patented. And then the big argument for Samsung was, we're just trying to help the consumer by giving them a choice and prevent a monopoly from driving the prices up. I mean, what are we paying for these devices compared to what a Samsung device is?
Yeah.
But you can't steal somebody's idea and offer it at a cheaper price just so the consumer can have a choice and have a better price.
No,
if it's an idea, Apple, if it's their idea, they thought of it, they have a right to make money off of their idea.
I agree. Totally
That's
agree.
what made this country great.
Yeah. That's why I cloned the Oakley glasses. I want the competitor to have another example of a cheaper price. So lots of little things going on. I mentioned there as I have begun, slowly the process of remodeling and getting into doing some other things on a house. And
how slow is it going to be? How many months?
I don't. Yeah, I don't know yet. We're pacing ourselves here for a variety of reasons, but I'd taken a kind of a separate barn that we have on this property. I'd taken out some scrap metal, and there was some old pieces of different things that had come out, copper, different things that were old water lines and stuff that were just taken out of the barn because the thing was a disaster. And I was running around the dump the other day, and I had to dump off some of the stuff, and then I had these little pieces of scrap metal in the trailer. I said, well, I'll just go by this recycling place here down the street, out by the casino out there. They were closed. So I called another one. I said, hey, I got these pieces of metal. They're probably worth something. I don't want to just throw them in the trash. And she's like, oh yeah, bring them on by. And you know the rules of the road, right? And I said, I mean, like how to get there? She's like, no. When you get here, you're going to have to provide us a photo ID, a fingerprint, and there'll be a 3-day waiting period before we can issue you your $19.58.
It's easier to buy a gun.
And I asked her the same thing. I said, I'm not buying an AK-47. I am trying to recycle some metal material from my own house, and I've got my driver's license, and I'm driving up in a fairly nice vehicle, and I'm not.
I swear I didn't steal it.
I'm not on crank, and I'm not on my 10-speed.
And your media personality.
Well, that's probably why it was going to cost me the waiting period time. But she said it doesn't, it doesn't matter, and I just said, okay, well, screw it then. I'm not going to come all the way over there I'm not going to spend. The thing gets 9 miles to the gallon in the truck I'm driving. I'm not going to spend $18 to give you $19 worth of stuff,
and I have to come back 3 days later to get my check,
and wait for 3 days. Wait 3 days for my check in the mail. I thought it was so frustrating. And then not only did I get home, and then I see all the articles about all of the pop up, particularly in Southern California, all these what they call pop up recyclers, where they've got, I think in all of LA County they have one guy whose job it is to try to go around and find out where these illegitimate recyclers of metal materials are. And they literally will come up right out of the ground, and they'll rent a little yard, they'll take all your material, and then they'll be gone because they are just taking it from people that are stealing it. So I on the one hand can't be too upset because I don't, we got to put an end to this problem. And then as we started looking around, we started looking at different things that could be recycled after we take them out of the house. You look at a bathtub. There was an old bathtub in the house, and we say, okay, that'll probably come out. Just looking at things, and that's that could be recyclable. It's metal, and there's some old metal fencing out there too. And the demand for these raw materials is so incredible. There's an outside kind of like an old pool fence, like the old 42-inch high pool fence you put up around. We had one of those around, and it was rusted and it was coming out, and so I put on, thank God for Craigslist, put a little ad on there saying, hey, if you want some fencing, come get it.
Gone.
And the guy shows up, boom, he says, I'll take it. Now, he was not going to recycle it. He was actually going to use it for his own property, but he said he was cutting it up in about 4 or 5 segments and then taking it back, and he'll come back and forth. And I said, why don't you just cut them all up at one time, stack them, and then come back and get them? He says, no way. He says, if I stack them and set them here and turn around and leave for 5 minutes,
somebody's going to come get them.
They will be gone before I could even get back. And I'm talking about rusted metal fencing. I'm like, this is ridiculous what people will grab their hands on, but that's the demand for.
So you didn't even take the fence apart. You just put it on Craigslist, and someone came and took it apart for you.
I have a 65-foot long bridge, walking bridge. It's about 6 feet wide and 65 feet long,
with a fireplace in the middle.
Fireplace in the middle of it that goes over this pond, this wretched pond that is not even a real pond. It's just like someone decided to pour some water in a hole and frogs jumped in it. So we're getting rid of the pond, and
there's some skeeters.
There's a bunch of skeeters in it. And I put this on Craigslist. I said, "Do you want a bridge?" And I had 7 people call me in an hour, so they'll come and get a bridge. And this is the problem with the general public on Craigslist. And remember, the people that can find Craigslist are ahead of the other people who can't find Craigslist. So the one lady shows up with her boyfriend and a screwdriver. I said, how the hell are you going to get a 65-foot bridge in the back of your car with a screwdriver? So she took about 2 boards off. She's like, oh, this is a lot of work. Never mind. She laughed. So you have to take it apart. I don't think you can put it in the back of your car, and it's going to take more than one screwdriver to get it. And there was someone there this morning at 6 o'clock this morning. She called and said, another lady called and said, can I come get it? I'll take it all apart and take it. So why, think about that if you're in the remodel, if you start the remodeling process. Now, this is all outside. I haven't even got inside yet. But people will take damn near anything.
They will.
And so rather than spending money to have a guy with a big claw tear it up and dump it in a dumpster and me pay the guy to tear it and me pay a guy to haul it off, they'll take it. And it's Trex material. It's worth something if you can use it. So it's been pretty amazing what you can find. We had these giant palm trees on the property, and there are people that are advertising that will come take them because they need the palm trees for other landscaping projects. So I know pretty soon I'll have given the whole place away. I'll be down to one urinal and a chicken out the back. That's about it. So hey, we got to take a quick break. Is our text line working there today, Chris? It looks like that thing might be frozen up. 441140 if you want to text us. 1-800-920. Our phone number 339-1140. I'm going to have to be careful about this because I don't have the exact wording. Let me see if it came in here yet, because we have 2 new sponsors, and I'm just not sure what we're giving away. But I will try to figure it out here quickly. Here we go. Let's try the Mountain Lions first. Sacramento Mountain Lions are back. Professional football in Sacramento. Now, this year they're going to be out at the Rayleigh Field,
It's going to be awesome.
The River Cats Stadium.
They spent didn't they spend like a $500,000 putting in a field at Sac State last year?
Yeah, well, it was 2 years ago, I think, or they put the new grandstands in as well too. So, we're going to give away, and then we're also doing the Nakoma Golf, which is a. Let's see if I can get this open here. I'm getting all kinds of texts here, different things we're supposed to do today. So I will try to do all those. But Nakoma Golf is up in around Gray Eagle, and I believe we're giving away tickets to stay up there and golf. But we'll do that in the next hour. Let's start with the Sacramento Mountain Lions. I'm going to give out a pair of tickets to the Sacramento Mountain Lions. Their opening night. And if you want to go out and check out the Mountain Lions, you can do that, and you can find them online as well for their schedule. I think their first game, is the 28th of September. Maybe Chris can check it out in there as well. So we got a quiz question there, Johnny?
We do. You
got a little sports-related one?
Yeah, Nike actually came out with some new sneakers.
Okay.
The LeBron sneakers.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently they have quite the ticket on them, about $300 plus.
Ooh.
So, but we're going to do some back-end stuff in 1922.
No, wait a minute now. So does this mean there's no Air Jordans anymore, or this is just
no, there's Jordans.
Oh, there's Jordans.
Okay,
absolutely.
So this is the
this
LeBron.
Is pushing that price limit just a tad, though.
Okay, so the LeBron, which is not the Air Jordan, is going to be $300 for a pair of shoes. I wouldn't even wear those outside.
I bet they can't make them fast enough.
I bet. Okay, so $300 for the Air Jordan.
And they're coming out later this year, so you can get
Christmas
in line
time.
probably. You can probably get in line right now.
I can already see the video from the mall. People lined out the mall.
So LeBron X sneakers, $300.
All right.
We have the Air Jordans 2012 model for $185.
Oh man, that's
so the question is, the beautiful Chuck Taylor Converse All-Star high top.
Yes.
Came out in 1922.
That is amazing.
What was the price?
In 1922?
In 1922.
So they weren't making them in China in 1922 because I don't think we even had a boat that went to China in 1922. So what was the original price of the Chuck Taylor? I had a pair of those in junior high, by the way.
You still have a pair, don't you?
Well, yeah.
They're the original ones. They were made in 1922.
Or do you give those away, too?
Those are with the metal fencing out there. So what was the original retail price of the Chuck Taylors in 1922? And by the way, if you have a pair of those in mint condition, I'm guessing they're worth more than the new LeBrons. Yeah. So 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. You can text us at 441140. Got a couple phone lines ringing already. What was the retail price of the Chuck Taylors in 1922? This is Talkin Money. My name is Jeff Tarbell. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be
right back. Jack.